Let's go.
Alright,
You
so we're
have
turning in,
Pando.
right? That's when Buddy said we would talk about this?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so, yeah, the biggest thing is that Intax and I have not been able to communicate and not been able to actually work as partners since before we even left Curios. It's probably one of the major reasons that him and I, probably one of the major reasons that we actually did fail on Curios was both of us not working together and working towards a common goal. And we have tried to mend that relationship, and we have really, really tried. Tried more than I've ever tried with any other individual. And yeah, I mean, he understood that we just don't work anymore, and we really wish that we did, but we both have scars and both have things that we don't want to let go of, and we both realize that. And at this point, it was a situation in which we didn't want things to get more toxic than they already were. That we didn't want things to get more into a situation in which people were feeling like this wasn't a game in which they wanted to log in. It was more of just like drama of just, yeah, constantly being threatened or constantly being not in a situation in which they want to be in. It wasn't necessarily the goals. Dipsy differed. We basically did have the same goals. We basically just had different ideas of how that method should go. And after talking about how we had tried to communicate because Intax and I were friends, and that friendship fell apart, and we tried to first mend that, and then we were like, okay, we kind of realized that we aren't really friends anymore, and that, you know, okay, and that's fine, we'll be nation members and just kind of work together as a team, because that's what we did initially. I'm sure a lot of you guys experienced that. I've been here on Curios. Intex and I have worked together since we were in FEMA.
User joined your channel.
And yeah, it's an incredibly sad situation. And I really do wish that things could have been mended better. And I do wish that there were a lot of things that him and I both made mistakes. And I feel like that we should have done better. But at this point in time, we just feel like this situation has gone to the point where there is no return, like there is no repairing it, and at this point we're just like sitting in limbo, and it's not good. And then we should just make the break and move on. Dolphis, we've had multiple interactions with. We've had issues with him with treatment of different nation members, and we have always kind of let that go under the guise that, you know, we would talk to Intax and he would talk to Soulfeast, and that was definitely a mistake to definitely not deal with it the first time. But at this point, the situation with Soulfeast has become, we are concerned about his toxicity, we're concerned about his treatment member of other nation members, and that's it.
Sounds legitimate enough to me.
I don't say this like with like a happy heart at all. Like, it does suck. I do wish that it really could just be me and Intax leading, and that kind of dynamic that we had when yeah, I mean, when we were fighting Disaster, when we were in FEMA, like, that was an awesome situation. Probably one of the best times I've had in Arcade, and yeah. That's the situation that we're in now. That is a situation coming forward. I have nothing against anybody that feels that my decision was the wrong decision here. And yeah, I won't have any hard feelings, because I can definitely understand that this is a huge difference in opinion even between Intax and myself.
Can you invite Harley to kill?
Fuku asks, says that I personally haven't seen them in a lot of content. Was presence involved in your decision?
Yes, it was.
Even
And it
more
wasn't
than
just
presence.
presence about like, okay, I want to be a DGS. It was presence as in like that we used to actually be able to be a cohesive leadership and actually be able to make decisions like that. And yeah, like that
Even
just
more
fell
so
apart.
than presence at events, they seem to have isolated themselves from the nation itself. So when we say that yes, presence took part, so did cohesion and interactiveness.
I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. Cameo, that is not why. And they did not skip every single event for the last 2 months for that reason.
Does anyone else want to ask questions?
I saw that Solfeast got the Aeronor hero, and then
Yeah.
the following day this happens, and he's being walked as opposed to allowed to serve out any kind of notice period prior to the mergers. What was the thinking there? As opposed to just waiting to mergers and just not re-inviting him.
I mean, do you know why he got fucking Aeronor hero?
I've
The
got
concern is actually not
'Cause it's
about
fucking alts.
how he
Stop,
got it.
stop.
That
Hold
isn't
on,
the point
stop,
of how I got it.
stop.
That isn't my decision at all, actually. I can explain my decision entirely behind that. The decision of why to remove them now is the concern of toxicity and the fact that we have already had multiple instances with Sulfies going off on people, and I don't want to fucking deal with that. Literally, I log into this game, guys. I want to actually play this game. I don't want to log in and just deal with drama. And
User joined your
yeah,
channel.
that's basically it.
Hi. I just got home.
It was not defending your CES cameo.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
User in your channel timed out.
We made
This isn't becoming a trial
36,032.
of what Sulfies did. Like, honestly, you guys, I'm explaining the reasoning behind that because this is the information that we had. If you want us to actually, like, go through and, yeah, I mean, we have multiple instances in which people have been treated like shit. Like, this isn't a trial of, okay, this is a tit-for-tat thing. Like, honestly, that isn't even the main reason. It's the disconnect. Like, the fact that this is no longer a nation. Like, this is no longer a team. And that is the whole point of this. If we're not going to be working towards that goal, then what is the point at all? There's no reason to keep them in nation if that is not the goal.
So what's going to happen to the outplayed, or not the outplayed, the NaLC fucking tag? Sorry, I'm not able to talk right now.
I understand. You guys are welcome to make your decision on your own. I can't make decisions for you. I
That's
know
where
that
you're
this
gonna
puts
leave
you
it,
in a very
Talia?
hard decision, and I am very sorry for that.
Also, the thing about the heroes, alts or no alts, why does it matter what hero position he got? We're all transferring to a new server in less than 10 days.
Okay, but
I
that's
know
not really not why
America-
we're here, Thana.
Yeah,
like to
I'm
argue whether or
aware,
not.
but I
This
mean,
month
it
gets a
caused a lot
I
of tension,
realize that,
especially
but
with
honestly,
America.
like, we're not here to argue the question of whether or not it's
User
okay to use
disconnected
alts,
from
because
your
that's
channel.
not. Like,
What about how
But,
to
I mean, if
the
you're
user
blind
is
enough
on
and
it.
you think it was literally all alts, you're delusional.
Yeah, dude.
okay.
Okay,
So,
we're not gonna fight about that. That's not
if
why
you
we're
guys
here.
just want to argue about that, then this conversation is done. But we are here so that you guys can ask questions, because obviously this is a huge deal for you.
Okay, in the future,
Huge
who's
deal
going to
for
be
all
the
of
raid
us.
leader when you're not here? That's what I want to know.
Has Intex been the raid leader for the last 2 months when I'm not here?
It's free farm server. You understand how this operates.
Has
Talia.
Intex been the raid leader for the last month and a half that we were on Curios when I was not here?
I would say 30% of the time that I was in raid, yes.
It's not even a
30%.
matter of like, okay, I'm not kicking him because he didn't show up. That isn't
No,
it.
I understand.
Like,
I heard
at
it. I
all.
heard it. I'm just this is just a question I'm asking. Who's actually going to be raid leading for us? That's what I want to know.
We have multiple people in this nation that are incredibly competent. Like,
I'm just
honestly, it's
asking
whoever
Ku.
fucking steps
just
up.
asking Ku,
We
dude.
have multiple
Okay.
people that can do that, and they are. I would much rather foster multiple people
Tadia.
to be able to be competent to do that.
That's not what I'm asking. Because right now I just feel like the nation's in shambles in multiple ways, and we're going to be going against, not as what we expected we were going to be going against, but they will be having more communication, and I feel like essentially right now they are in a better position than we are. Mindset
Okay.
going into it, organization.
I mean,
I
absolutely. You're going from a group that has actually been PvPing to a group that's been free farming. Honestly, you guys knew there was going to be a curve from that. Absolutely.
And even with that, it doesn't give us justification to keep him here.
I was just asking Betty.
Fire on Tason's boat. Kill this thing real quick.
Horrid place to be in. God, no. This is going to be so interesting when we transfer.
I'll be honest, there's multiple people that have attempted to step up before and offer either advice or assistance. Experience in different areas. We played with Disaster, Brandon's been there with me. Anytime we tried to offer any type of suggestion, we were
joined your
pretty
channel.
quickly shut down by Intax because he likes to monopolize the control. So with the absence, yes, we might be missing the raid leader that a lot of people are used to. That's fine, but there are people who can step up and who have tried before. Like said before, Zeal has called before. Tatia does it. I can do it. We can make enough raid calls, and I personally believe that there's plenty of members in this nation who are competent enough that they don't need to have their hand held for everything. Sure, it might not be as efficient as we're used to, or it might not be exactly what we're used to, but we're not gonna fucking go in there without voice comms and act like, we don't know what to do. People know how to play their characters.
Cammy, I don't think it's I don't think it's a question of that Intax is not a resource. Hands down, he is. Why do you think that I have worked with him and learned so much from him? That is not a question at all. It's not the question at all. Intax is one of the best raid callers in the game, and I have learned how to definitely change my calls and improve my raid calling from him. So, without a doubt, there is no question about that.
Who's in for Banshees right now?
I don't think anyone is. Snap might be if he's in raid.
Z1 in.
User joined your